The Chiefs, we mentioned this on the way to break, have signed a new tackle for the blind side, presumably. They added Jawaan Taylor early in free agency after Orlando Brown walked away. Donovan Smith cut by the Bucs. Longtime left tackle there. Now comes into Kansas City. Will the pass protection for Patrick Mahomes be better, worse, or same with Orlando Brown gone, Taylor in, and Donovan Smith now in as well? Also, Andrew Wylie, right tackle, exited via free agency. So 2 new tackles, 40% turnover for the offensive line for the Chiefs. Better, worse, or same?
Yeah, I can't imagine that it's going to be much better. I mean, maybe it'll be better on the right side, but I think on the left side, you are taking a bit of a downgrade going from Orlando Brown to maybe anybody else. And, it's interesting hearing Brett Veach talk about Jawaan Taylor perhaps playing left, perhaps playing right. Nothing is set in stone. I don't know how much Donovan Smith should change that, right? I was not overly impressed with the way Donovan Smith been playing the last year or so. So I don't really know exactly where they're going to go with this, because if Jawaan Taylor was good enough to replace Orlando Brown, then there is a chance that he is good enough to be better than Donovan Smith at left tackle. So you can't quite solve this quandary right now because you can't get in the pads and you can't hit and you don't really know exactly the way guys are going to mesh. But I mean, you want this done by probably about the first, second week of training camp where guys are settled in. I mean, I would say even the first week. I don't want to be mixing things up on the offensive line when I've got Patrick Mahomes behind me at quarterback. You want to make sure that your guys are right. So whether it is Donovan Smith, Jawaan Taylor, Lucas Niang, Morris, who they just drafted out of Oklahoma, they got to figure out what their best combination of tackles is soon into training camp before you start really making things a mess. Because like I said, you just want that line to gel as soon as possible when you've got somebody as good as Patrick Mahomes behind you.
I fully recognize that the point I'm about to make will sound snarky.
Oh,
in part because that's my way. But
that's your
it's
brand.
not. I mean this. I really mean this. The performance of the Chiefs' offensive line this year, whether it's better, worse, or same, is going to hinge on whether and to what extent the officials let Donovan Smith get away with holding in order to keep Patrick Mahomes from getting hit. Because we saw it last year. Donovan Smith, when the Buccaneers were trying on Monday night to erase, 16-3, because we had the Monday night game 16-3, and the Bucs came back and beat the Saints. The Thursday night game 16-3, and the Rams came back and beat the Raiders. But he was holding on every play. And this, okay, he's grabbing the outside, but I mean, he was doing the around the neck. I mean, every single play he was holding. It was laughable. We showed the plays. Holding and holding and holding. So, and this is all part of, and Sims made the point last year, Myles, defensive linemen are so much better than offensive linemen right now, and the good teams have 6, 7, 8 of them that are constantly fresh and rotated in. So the officials look the other way when the linemen do the Lane Johnson move, where they start a half second early into their pass block set. They get that. We see it all the time. You see the movement on either side of the line. The guy's getting into his pass block set, and they don't call it. Give him a little edge against that better defensive lineman. Let him hold against that better defensive lineman. Why? Because we understand the value of keeping the quarterbacks healthy and able to play. Mm-hmm. So it'll be better if the officials understand, well, it's Patrick Mahomes. We don't want Patrick Mahomes to get injured. We're going to go ahead and look the other way when Donovan Smith, has his forearm around the neck of the defensive lineman who's trying to get to Mahomes.
Yeah, well, and that's what I meant, but I wasn't necessarily all that impressed by Donovan Smith's play. I mean, like, it's just, it's predicated on a lot of holding, and you've got to be able to move your feet probably a little bit better and be a little bit more swift of foot. So we'll see. But I mean, like, there's no guarantee that Donovan Smith is going to play left tackle. I'm interested to see what it is that Andy Reid is going to say about how they see Donovan Smith fitting in. Because like I said, I mean, they've got a guy in Lucas Niang who I don't think is terrible. and is somebody that can also play right tackles, what they were probably planning on doing. You drafted Morris for a reason, right? They love those Oklahoma offensive linemen there with Kansas City, and they've had success with it. So we'll see how this turns out.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.